The thing about celebrities, as I've often said here on the show, is essentially you might think, well, why should we take any notice of them anymore? I've often said this, chums, haven't I, that many years ago, if you remember, when you liked a celebrity, you remember the sort of thing where you sent off maybe for a postal picture and it was in the back of the record or in a movie magazine like Pictorial or Movie Star or whatever. And you thought, wow, and when that picture came back, you absolutely thought 100% that picture, curated, airbrushed, whatever you want to call it, even in those days, well, they were writing to you. And for all those people, of course, that sent off for the likes of David Essex, David Cassidy, The Sweet, who remembers all of those glory days of the burgeoning pop fan base and stuff like that, really, of course, started off by the greatest of them all, in my opinion, Elvis Presley. I mean, his fan base was just colossal, and they had a lot of power, a lot of influence. But step forward in the 21st century, and we're lumbered with people like this. As ever, let me explain. It was lovely to see you. Thank you as ever for your time today. You know what, have a nice wave. You know what I mean about celebrity. It's a wonderful thing in many respects, but I think because of the access that we all now have, whether it's digital platforms or not, we all sort of know, don't we, about celebrities and what they really mean. And then they want to share their innermost thoughts, whether it be the political ones or if they're flogging anything like a book or whatever. I mean, recently over here, we've got the book launch of the 60s pop diva, Lulu, and suddenly she's decided to tell us that she was a secret alcoholic for 10 years. Who cares? Who knew? She just sang to Sir with Love brilliantly, and that's all you care about, right? But she was superseded by the international footballer Wayne Rooney. This is the problem when you've got revelations. There's always another celebrity like a conveyor belt with a bigger one than you. So you've got to up the ante. So suddenly Lulu's now recounting her very intimate time with the 70s pop icon David Bowie. You'll have to try harder, Lulu, if you want to sell that book, dear. Now, where this gets really interesting is this. Cynthia Nixon, right? She came out in, well, support of, some people might say, the disgraced chat show host Jimmy Kimmel. Now, as you know, Jimmy Kimmel's been put on, back on air through ABC Disney in, certain areas, but not all of the full affiliates. Sinclair and Nexstar, the corporate companies attached to, of course, that particular company, well, they're not airing it. And it's turned out to be an absolute disaster for Jimmy Kimmel. Now, basically, this is what, you've got to get this, right? This is what Cynthia Nixon had to say. And she was urging everybody to cancel, don't support Disney, all of that sort of stuff. Forgetting clearly that her own show has recently been cancelled because I think she had a daughter or a son, I'm not quite sure who went on a hunger strike. That lasted 2 days. And then suddenly, she had another activism moment. Sex and the City was a big show in the early noughties, and one could only begin to wonder if Cynthia's outspoken void, as it were, is the reason why her show got cancelled, right? Now, because Jimmy Kimmel's back on air, guess what? She's back again. It's like an embarrassing itch you can't get rid of, isn't it? Now, the thing is, she's turned up now telling you, you should now re-sign with Disney because forget Jimmy Kimmel. She's now telling you because she believes that, well, they've done it and everything's fine. And when she's telling you, right, she's dressed in Disney ears and Disney white gloves because it's all so cute and should never have been that sort of, the ABC Disney, they've realised the mistake. Cynthia's spoken and you're all supposed to jump along the bandwagon.
But unfortunately, 20% of Americans were not given the option to watch him. If you were in New Orleans, if you were in Salt Lake, St. Louis, DC, Nashville, you didn't get a chance. And that's the fault of Sinclair and Nexstar. So if you're in those markets, call those people up, complain, call their advertisers. Or just, watch him on YouTube like 9 million people did last night. I, like so many people who in protest canceled their Disney and Hulu subscriptions, have signed back up. So do that too. Disney, Hulu, thank you for doing the right thing. The force is with you.
Now, whether you're a fan of Jimmy Kimmel or not, some people say he's a comedian, many others say not. I think the sort of late night thing literally left the planet once the brilliant Johnny Carson. Sadly, we lost him. There's been one or two others, of course, Dick Cavett, Jack Parr, and many others at the very start of it who did incredibly well. Today's late night chat show hosts, I would say, including the one that we imported over to the United States, You know the one I mean, James, yes. Well, what's interesting with him is James Corden. He came back because apparently he missed London so much so he's now gone back to America, seemingly because London didn't miss him. You get the picture. Now, here's where this gets interesting, because have people taken notice of Cynthia Nixon? Apparently not. Subscriptions still remain down. Proof, if you really were to know, that celebrity is well and truly over. No matter how many white gloves you put on, how many ridiculous Disney ears, nobody is taking notice of you. Now, when will the rest of the people suddenly gather that? Neil Sean in the very heart of the United Kingdom.